coming and watching the Gazette today, the Plateau. We're sitting here with Trevario Hogan today. Trevario Hogan, he's here today, you guys, because we're going to discuss the gap. Trevario, remember the gap in generations. I've always, and for a long time now, I know a lot of us, especially a lot of us Generation X and baby boomers, are trying to fill out where is the gap and the void between the Generation X and then the Generation Z. Trevario, I met Trevario here about a month ago, and he's an astute young man, and I want to talk to Trevario about, he's a Generation Z. Am I correct, Trevario?
Yes, ma'am.
You're how old?
31.
31. Yeah, he's a Zer. What year were you born?
1994.
You born 1994? Okay, I was born in 75.
Okay.
So I'm the Generation X, and then you're the Generation Z.
Yes.
And we're just being comfortable with you guys. This is not a formal interview at all. This is a informal interview on purpose. I like to talk to individuals in the community. We have a lot of headliners. We have a lot of gyms. Trevario is also a gym. He has a kennel company. You said what kind of dogs, Trevario?
XL Bullets.
What kind?
The XL Bullets, they're made up of 3 different dogs, but it's the XLs. I have some Merles, chocolate tries, and just some standard XL Bullets.
Look at me. Okay, and that's great. That's what the Zers are about. Trevario, tell me, where did you work before?
Before I did construction, I did pipe fitting. I've been all over the place. I did a lot of different work, but my recent tool was construction and pipe fitting.
Okay, tell me about. I just want to know a little bit about the Zers. I'm trying, even in my everyday life, I think that a lot of us Xers, we talk. And I think that we're all concerned with, I guess the Zers, moving into the workforce, taking over the workforce. We're worried about the Zers and their families. We're worried about the Zers and their parenting. We are worried as Xers because I have a son and he's 26 years old. So he's a Zer as well. So I like to know, I've learned a little bit about you Zers, and I've read some things, and it says that you guys are, I want to start with one. It says that Zers are typically ethical. Okay. And that's the one that blew me backwards. Ethical meaning, you're morally good. You kind of stay in order. I do not see that, Trevario, in generational Z's lately. What is going on?
I believe what it is a lot of, not to say so, the the group between us. I don't think we had a lot of leadership, or the leadership that we should have had. Like a lot of our older guys, or the older guys, or people that we was hanging around was telling us, or go do the wrong thing, or be around the wrong crowd. We didn't have none of the real positive role models that we actually seen that wanted to be around to change our lives around. Everybody we was around the same thing we was around, doing the same thing we was doing, pretty much misleading us. But now it's a lot of information out there that we have to seek on ourselves, even if no one did teach us, because a lot of the stuff I learned, I had to go and do the research on my own. So I had to start learning at 30. So I'm not the same person I was last year, and Lord said the same, I won't be the same person next year. So it just, every day it's overcoming yourself, your old self.
So you're saying a lot of the Zers probably didn't have someone there to guide them. Was that in the community, or in a whole, or we're just talking about maybe in the household with the mother and the father?
It go both ways. I mean, the broken neighborhood's gonna always make a broken home. So we gotta start with the neighborhoods to make the homes better, I feel, because the homes in the community, the homes make the community, so it all go hand in hand. If the fathers not being active in the community how they should, it all starts with really the fathers and the men in the community starting to lead the youth the way that they should lead them, and go about showing them the ethics and the morals and the way that they should go about, because we starting to let other cultures and other people teach us what ethics is and how we should move and how we should carry ourselves, and that steer us from where we really should be at. So, and everybody doing what other people think's cool, and everybody think, instead of thinking for themselves and going with their own mind and starting their own brand or doing whatever they want to do, they just go with the cool person, or doing what's right. They doing what's cool instead of doing what's right.
Also, with I just did a little research myself on the Zers, right? And just actually getting the lived experience of talking to Zers. So my son's a Zer. I have nephews that are Zers. I just know, I talk to you guys a lot. And what I've learned just by the lived experience, just watching you and talking to you, you guys believe more in the social networks, the digital the digital natives. I mean, you guys are all about the media, computers. Do you think that also has an impact on, you know what I'm saying, the mind of the Zir? Because see, we didn't have a lot of that as extras. I mean, I think we had the Nintendo. I think it had first come out when I was young. We didn't have, we had, at the time we still were working from mainframe, the old computer systems. Do you think that it's the social world, social network world?
I believe it has a lot to do with it, honestly. And then it go back to the parenting too. Not to say people are bad parents when they do this, but it takes two. If one need a break, or if it's just one in the home, and a lot of the time it's just been the mother raising a lot of our generation. It's just facts. Instead of when they need a break, they'll just go and put them in front of a tablet or put them in front of a phone or something like that,
Right.
instead of a book or anything like that. And I've done it, but I didn't know between the ages of really 7 and 12 when their mind is getting everything that they should. So you be getting the literature and all that. So the whole time you wiring the brain to get addicted to these things, and we don't even
Right.
know it. So even during the other day, I had to start controlling myself, not picking up my phone and just scrolling 4 hours and 5 hours
Right.
a day unless I'm actively doing something. Even when I'm doing it for my dogs, I might post something like, dang, bro, you been on the internet a whole hour, let's go do something else. Even though I know it's for my business and I'm in the dog world and it takes part of it, but even if I'm just dropping videos out there, like, man, I ain't did nothing really productive. So I still have to
Right.
get up and do something that I know that's gonna feed my mind and feed me the right way. Because a lot of nothing stays the same.
Because what I noticed too about Zers, the whole reason why the Gazette, we started off and we wanted to just be a publication where you just write.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why we've come to this podcast is because this is the only way we see that we can get to some people, period, especially Zers.
True.
So and that scares us too. As an exer, we're saying, oh my God, they don't want to read anymore.
Right.
So do you think that could be an issue as well? Like, I mean, a lot of Zers, if it's not at that fingertip, if you can't get that instant gratification from pushing play or listening, I think that also probably is a problem in the Zers world.
Yeah, for sure. It makes it easier for some people, and then some people like, just like I was talking with a friend of mine. He's like, man, I hate that everything then went digital, and he's only, I think, 2 years younger than me.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, I hate everything went digital. I used to like walking in and filling out apps and doing everything on paperwork and actually reading. And he come from the same environment as me. Like, it just, I don't think a lot of us just really like to read, period. Because I never liked to read. I still don't really read like that. I may, like now, I go to audiobooks and listen to it.
Right.
Instead of actually picking
Right.
up the book and reading. But even though it's still getting into your subconscious mind, because what you hear and what you see is getting into your subconscious mind. So you're still
Right.
learning it, but it go back to the old textbook and actually just picking it up and making sure this is what's supposed to be
Right,
in there.
'cause
So
I don't think that Zers like to read, and I think that, do you think that could pose a problem as well? For instance, I notice a lot of Zers,
Mhm.
they go off to college. A lot of them do very well, okay? They graduate, they do very well. And then there's a group of Zers who don't go off to college, right? And what I've seen that those Zers do, let's say they don't have the mindset to go into the workforce.
Right.
A lot of Zers want to be their own boss immediately.
Right.
They said, you know what, I'm not working for anyone. This is what I'm hearing from other Zers. You know, I don't believe I have to go in workforce right now and climb from the bottom to get to the top. I can go right and start my own business. I Googled this, I researched this on YouTube, I've done this. Now guess what, I'm my own boss.
Right.
Do Zers think or believe that, and not just, you can't ask for all Zers, let's talk
Right.
about you, can believe that if they open their own businesses, that they understand that the community in a whole have to be able to benefit from the businesses? Because let's say we had a whole lot of, everybody had their own business,
Right.
and we were extremely individualistic, we only worried about ourselves.
Right.
How do we feed the rest of the community, the rest of our poor people, the rest of the people in the community who need bread, need water, need food, if everybody has their own individual business?
Right.
And I know that's the way a lot of Zers think.
Right, and that just come from everybody being about self, and I don't know where a lot of that come from, but I've also felt the same way. I felt if I have known about trades early in the day, I wouldn't have went to college and got into debt, because I feel like that's what they pushing to get you to have more debt. So I feel like that's why a lot of us trying to be independent and do our own thing. And then on top of that, a lot of us just so selfish that we don't want to help the next person and don't want to see the next person do better than us. So they doing a lot of gatekeeping, and a lot of stuff. They might just slander your name, throw salt on you just because they don't want you to do better than them.
Right.
So I don't understand a lot of it either.
Right, because I think that's another concern I know of Xers, because I've talked to a group of Xers about the Zers, because like I said, most of our kids are Zers, and so we're seeing that there is a lack of momentum when it comes to going into the workforce, a lack of momentum, even with here in Shreveport. Let's talk about Shreveport, okay? We're not going to talk about the whole world. I like to talk about where I'm at.
Right.
I don't like to talk about because some other city could be doing much better, and so I'm not talking about anybody else's city. But what I notice here is a lot of the Zers do not believe in working for anyone else. I see a lot of the Zers, they like to party.
Yeah,
they like to party. A lot of the Zers, I know a lot of elementary schools. They probably have babies, little small schools, kids that are in elementary school. I noticed that a lot of parents, they don't get involved in PTA. They don't get involved in the teacher and student relationship, because even when we were young, if we got in trouble at school, typically the teacher probably lived in the community, and the teacher was close to the mother was more involved in the school.
Right, for sure.
So what we're afraid of is that the Zers are going to lose it all. Right. They were saying, I think I got a number, don't quote me on this, Gazette, but I think that Mr. Smith said the last plateau, I think it was like 3,300 or 33, either 100 or 1,000, I think it was 100, that they had absentee in schools here. And I'm sure those are kids that belong to a lot of Zers.
Right, for sure.
So what are the Zers doing that, I mean, you can't answer for everybody, but let's talk about your lived experiences, people that are around you. What do you think they're doing that they're just not involved with the kid in school? We all see what's going on here in America. All of us see it. You guys are old enough to see that we got a crisis.
Right.
So what do you think they're doing?
I think all of them just go back to just being misguided and prioritizing. They just worrying about the wrong things and worry about having fun instead of long-term dreams, and trying to just got turn-up dreams. What we're gonna do for the weekend, where we want to hang out at, and they're addicted to social media. Everybody, every day they got a topic. So I had to detox from it. I don't even get on social media. I hate that I had to be in the dog world to that's how I promote a lot.
Yeah.
But every day they got a topic, and I just get to unfollowing people. That's why a lot of my followers not even in Shreveport, because they get to talking about certain stuff, and they'll sit there for hours and talk about it and get distracted, which they want us to. They want us to be distracted by certain stuff. We got wars and real things going on in life, and they just throw their bones there to make us be distracted, and they catch the bones and just sit back and just let life pass, maybe 20 years from now. And if our generation don't wake up and start going to these schools, going to these meetings, stepping up and real be dads, because a lot of us, the mothers can't go because they either working 2 jobs or partying, turning up, or the ones that is being mothers, they got 2 jobs or they working long hours, and the pop's doing whatever he doing. Now she can't go to the PTS meeting, she can't go to the school and go do all the things that she needs to do, and they go back to pops being the pops man. We acted in the community, acted in the school, acted everywhere. Half the stuff that's going on when you can go, it'll cease. Like they putting too much time in the partying and like you say, turning up, and not just trying to take care of home and just trying to really figure stuff out.
Do you think the Zers are aware of the crisis that we're in America when it comes to the African American community, when it comes to the community in a whole? But since the African American community is a marginalized community, meaning we're probably in the most poverty, all those things, do you think other Zers are aware?
Not so much.
I know you are, but
not so much as I am, but they see what's going on, and that's why I wanted to reach out to some of the guys that so-called big dogs got motion in your town, got motion in your hood or whatever. Even if you just cut hair, you play basketball or whatever you do, you can be a dope or whatever. But if I feel like I can reach and holler at you, you can stop a lot of this going on, the rappers or anything, because they knowing, some of them got a conscience, but they ain't just thinking all day, every day, dang, I'm misleading 20, 30 people, and they gonna mislead 20, 30 more, and it's gonna keep going on. So if you can save 10 or 20, save them 10 or 20. You can't save everybody ain't meant to go, but just listen to the ones that's gonna listen and put that out there for the ones that's gonna grab it. And we can for sure change one by one, but it starts with self.
Because we know you guys are adults. Just because I'm an extra doesn't mean you're still an adult. You're 31 years old. Sure. So what do you think maybe an extra or even a baby boomer, where do we go wrong? Is there something that we've missed when, there was that, you said that family lacked the parent, the 2-family household, all these things, there had to be something that we've missed.
It was just the programming on us. Like I said, I started learning this stuff at 30. There's no way I should start learning who I am at 30.
Right.
Even with Black History at school, they don't teach us nothing. That ain't even the beginning of it. I was supposed to start learning it at home, not the stuff that I was learning at home. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to go and learn other stuff that wasn't even beneficial. You know what I'm saying? For real, that's in life. So I think that's where it all just started, man. In the house, in the community, man. And we teaching each other who we are and who the real people is. None of this stuff wouldn't be going on. It just come from the self of knowing who we is, not knowing who we are, and the self not knowing who we are, and not loving ourselves.
Right. I know in every community, Javarie, I see it because I live in the community. There's a church on every corner.
Oh yeah, and liquor store.
How do you? Oh yeah, and a liquor store.
And a liquor store.
And a liquor store.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you think that, like, I know when I was young, and I say this all the time. I know people get tired of me saying it, right? That when I was young, the pastor used to come and get us while we were outside playing kickball. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, for real.
To tell us to come and go to BTU. That was Bible study in the summertime. Then the deaconesses and the deacons used to walk down the street, and the ladies had their white on, and the deacons had their black suits on. They would actually come and get us. What neighborhood are you from, first of all?
Cooper Road.
Cooper Road. Have you ever seen that? As a kid?
I don't know if it was Jehovah's Witnesses. It may have been Jehovah's Witnesses. I don't remember so-called. I may have seen a few brothers walking through and just putting pamphlets on. I don't know who they was with or what as a kid, but I just don't so-called. I remember like the church buses used to come pick us up, like the red and white church buses, but I ain't never get on it. I ain't trust it because it wasn't all people driving. They talking about taking kids out to Texas and doing, nah, man, I ain't. But as far as our people, I didn't really just see them trying to bring them out and get them to come to church like that.
Are the Zers getting involved in providing and helping with resources? That's a big problem. You see, you have the nonprofits out here. You see what they're doing. Typically they're older people. You have some younger people that work for different entities. Why aren't the Zers like yourself that may be, astute and understand what's going on, doing more in their own communities to help each other? Do you think that's just not enough for you out there? That maybe just have to become awakened and understand?
That's the first thing. And like you said, it just ain't enough for me, and we just all need to just come together and just start doing things. It don't just have to be enough for me. Just one thing can just help one person. It just start with self and just want to do it. A lot of us don't want to do good. A lot of us don't know good. I think that it's just some of us with the music. We don't have a lot of self-control with a lot of stuff. The music, the porn, the women, alcohol, pills, weed, whatever it is. Like
just
we all
out
messing
there.
something. Yeah, we just everywhere, all over the place. We're going out this club and then we ain't dealing with what the task is at hand. We're trying to mask it, and once that over, we right back to that same stage. So we trying to chase it again. So
because I'm almost saying like the Zero don't see those things as being issues. They don't see them, the partying, the going out.
But when you got everybody pushing it, the rappers, all the entertainers, everybody they looking up to and who they want to be.
Right.
That's all they pushing. So that's why I said, like, growing up, we didn't have people like you bringing us on, and we didn't have people like the people that I'm watching, like Dr. Umar and 19 Keys, Yaqui, the guys that I'm watching this awakening. We didn't have nothing like, damn, this is who I want to be like.
Well, you did have it. You didn't know about it.
True. We weren't exposed to it.
You were not exposed to it.
And
it sounds like with that exposure, it probably had to come from my generation, is what you're saying. Because how old is your mother or father? Are they my age?
Yeah.
48, 49?
Yep.
See, that must mean that we messed up. See, we were saying the Zers, right? We're blaming the Zers all the time. Oh, those kids are bad, blah, blah, blah. But that's why I'm asking, that's why we're having this conversation.
Right.
I'm trying to find out where the Xers went wrong.
Because
it sounds like we may have, like you said, it could have been a mother who had children in the X time, the generation Xers, and we just didn't have the time to do what we need to do. We were, like you said, working 2 jobs or whatever it may have been, but there was we're trying to find the gap. Where is the gap? And then how do we fill the gap? I think that the Xers, I think we're too far along to fill it. I think it had to be filled by the Zers.
That's why I said if the Zers don't step up, they already saying that a lot of stuff getting taken away from us as is and been taken away from us. But if we don't step up, bro, a lot of our rights gonna go out the door. So if we don't wake up and start really doing what we gotta do for us and try to fight for what's ours, and they're gonna keep stripping us of it.
Right.
And we the only race that keep saying, man, they need to segregate us.
Right.
Bro, why no other race gotta be segregated? They can do their own thing by themselves without nobody forcing them to do it.
Right.
We're the only ones keep saying they need to do this, they need to do that. Why we can't do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We can
Right.
make an excuse. Either you want to do it or you don't.
Do you think the digital age hurt you guys? Because being exposed to so much media on that phone or on those laptops or iPads. Keep in mind, remember we didn't have that exposure, so it limited
Right.
how we thought. The programming is what you call it. It limited our programming. So does it sound like it's more of what you guys are exposed to?
True.
That's what it sounds
True.
like.
And it's just anywhere for sure. And then it just comes to self control too, of how much you be aware of it, and once you be aware of it,
Right.
start eliminating.
The
You have to be
realization.
aware, right? You have to be aware of what's going on. If you're never aware of it, you'll do things for years and think nothing wrong with
Right.
it. Because I was that way. I'm like,
Right.
Oh,
What's
no.
wrong? It was your normalcy.
yeah. You're so used to norm, and you keep going to norm instead of creating.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That
what's
became
ahead.
your normalcy. Is like you said, what you saw every day,
Right.
what you did every day. If it didn't seem wrong to everybody else, it was right.
True.
So it was normal.
True.
It was normal. You also, I noticed his ears. We came up in the music age. We came up when hip hop came out. So
Mhm.
we're the true hip hoppers. Let's get that straight.
Right.
We're the true hip hoppers.
Right.
But in our time in music, the music changed.
Yeah.
So I know y'all want to think y'all the music age, Zers, but we
No.
really are the music age.
No, for sure, for sure. If you want to go listen to some real music, we can go
We
back.
come from
back.
that
Yeah,
where there
yeah,
was
yeah,
conscious rap.
Yeah, facts.
Because I
facts,
love the
facts.
Roots. I love Tribe Called Quest.
Yeah.
I love all those conscious rappers who talked about, where they came from. It may have been drug dealing, it may have been hustling, it may have been all these things, but they always talked about the elevation.
Right.
They
How to
always
come
talked
out
about
of it.
coming
Right.
out
They didn't just
of
talk
it.
about sitting
They
in it.
didn't talk about sitting in it.
Right.
They may have said they shot somebody, whatever. I don't know.
Right.
But it always was them saying, I did it and I'm coming out of it.
True.
What I'm trying to figure out the music, because y'all claim to be a music age. Everybody I know that's a Zer is a rapper. I know a lot of rappers, and I'm not sure what they're rapping about. Nothing.
Nothing. What Eminem said a long time ago, a lot of rappers ain't got nothing to say. They just ain't talking about nothing. It's maybe a few brothers that's actually trying to push something positive, but everybody talking about drugs,
In this area.
killing. Yeah, all I'm talking
Yeah.
about going to slide on the next person, killing the next person,
Right.
go spin, and they
Right.
they really indicting themselves. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? And I be like, brother, this ain't it.
But-
like,
Because that's become the normalcy,
hey,
right?
and they pushing it to be the normal. Like I say, y'all had hip hop.
Yep.
Man, we got drill music. Y'all had, it's a difference. Like you got
Yeah.
music that the devil influence, then you got music that'll heal your soul too. You got two
Right.
different kind of music,
Right.
but it's almost a thin line nowadays. You
Yeah.
know, you don't never know what kind of what they engineered into the beat and what kind of lyrics gonna come with it, man. And it's stuff powerful what you put into your mind,
Right.
bro.
Because what do you think the drill music comes from? Does it? This is the question. This is the question I had. I talked to a young rapper before about the drill music. I said, does it come from the lived experiences? Is that just what's going on now?
Facts.
Right.
Facts.
Right.
Man, you can walk around with a gun before you can buy a gun before you can buy cigarettes.
Right.
So they want you to do that. They putting all the gun stores around the corner. Man, you can go on no market and you don't pay about 4-5 gun stores. Like they
Right.
putting them in our community. They doing it. They making
Right.
them cheap, but they raising the law on everything else. But they ain't making no laws for us. But everybody else get laws.
Right,
They doing
right.
it for real, but nobody's. I don't know if they, like you say, I don't know if they ain't conscious to it, ain't paying attention to it, or what. But I'm here to let them know, man, they doing it, and they doing
Right.
it to us for sure.
Those gun laws definitely need to be. They need to be broken. They need to get them out of here. We shouldn't be able to get guns.
Half of the
Like we
people that's
get a
getting
bottle.
killed is our people by us, and then we getting locked up for it, and half our people don't even be, they mentally be sick, like they be need help. They don't need to be in jail. It just
Mentally ill,
all,
right?
Yeah, a lot of stuff just messed up. Yeah, a lot
I
of stuff
saw
just
that.
messed
You
up.
know, a lot of our Zers, and not saying just Zers, but this could be any generation.
Right.
We're talking about the Zers and the X's right now because I'm an X and you're Z. I'm noticing a lot of young men I'm hearing have a lot of mental health issues,
Man, these dudes
and
be
they don't
slow.
realize it. They be, like tier ones.
Right.
Tier ones are someone who is maybe have a tad bit of autism.
Right.
But they're still functional.
Right. And they never got the proper help, bro.
Never got the assessment.
Their mama just put them in
Special ed.
but they never got the right help, bro. So as soon as they got
That's
special
what
ed,
I've
they go
been
straight to jail.
seeing. Yes.
Prison, jail, school to prison pipeline. It's
Press
all
the-
that. Bam.
That's right. That's exactly what I've been seeing. Is a lot of it is mental health.
Yeah, man, they ain't getting no help, bro, and ain't nobody trying to help them, bro. And then they mama can't pay for no lawyer, bro. Now they 16, 17, and killed somebody and hurt somebody. Now they got more time than they've been alive. Then when they get some help or they sit in jail and realize, and God just spiritually maybe get that demon off of them, because it's all demons. Everything is a demon.
Right.
Once they get it off of them or whatever may pass, I'm like, dang, bro,
Yeah.
I done messed up. I got a little partner right now, like my nephew. Dang, I got 12 years for 30 seconds, man. And it's hitting him
Wow.
right now, and he ain't even been gone that long. He keeping it solid like as street laws because he know what he did, but
Right. And
I
he's
have
a
been telling
Z'er.
him. No, he younger than me. He like what about 21, 22?
Yep, he's a Z'er.
Okay, Z. Okay, yeah.
And so he's doing 12 years
Yeah.
for a 30-second,
Yes.
violation or something. Yeah, that's what we're seeing now, and that's what we're trying to figure out. Is there anything? Because we are concerned. I'm going to get older, right? And it may not. You'll be the senior then. I may be. Let's say I'm 80 years old, right? And now I look to my Zers to make sure I can get Medicare, to make sure that I can get some Social Security, to make sure the laws are in place to protect me. All those things. Now I look to you guys for.
Right.
So we're afraid. We're saying, oh my gosh, what's happening to the Zers? They're either dying, they're either incarcerated, they're either dropping out of high school, not getting education, and then they're diminishing. They're like I said, they said, kill yourself, or what's that saying? Yeah, it's a saying that's, I think Spike Lee said it in a movie years ago. What was it?
Right.
I forgot what it was. Wake up, and then he said something about they want us to kill ourselves. But if we know that, why are we killing ourselves? I want to know why the Zers are doing it. And I understand you told me your answer, but we're just trying to figure out what we can do as Xers. Is there anything, or is this going to be totally up to the Zers to make the change?
I mean, I don't think it's never too late. I don't think it's never too late. What you're doing is powerful right now. But like you said, like I need more of me. I think we need more of y'all too. You know what I'm saying? Because my brother, what's 32 now? He the one who really put me on what I'm doing now. He put me on the one guy. Then once he put me on the one guy, I'm like, dang. I locked in like a month. And I'm listening to videos, just doing me some research. Once they say somebody just got my brain, I go Google it or what that mean, go research what that word mean.
I love it, research.
I had just got in tune to what those brothers were saying, so it just started changing my mind. My thoughts and stuff. One person after one, because they may go on a podcast and they're like, okay, who you like, or who inspired you, or who put you on your path. So once they got to just naming people, I go and listen to them, and it just went from there. But I think me and my brother, he's not too far from me, so I know we in the same what is it, Zers? Yeah, I think he's a Zer too, but I don't think it's just never too late because my pops, I always said he knew the stuff he was saying, but sometimes I get mad up like, dang pops, why you ain't been putting me on game? Because I might not made some of these mistakes I was saying, even though I felt like half the time I was gonna do what I wanted to do anyway.
Right.
But once you're subconsciously put so much in people's mind and kids' mind,
it's an injection.
They gonna automatically go with like trying to try the way they should go when they know they would not depart from it. So instead of me seeing guns and seeing when I was growing up, it would have made me. It might have
deterred you from it.
Yeah, for sure.
Would have deterred you from it.
So it's what we introduced to and what's put into our subconscious as a child. Like it started as a list.
It starts very. A lot of people don't know that we learn our most. To be honest with you, 0 to 5.
Yeah, for sure.
0 to 5 years old.
I say the tablet and them phones and all that at that age when you're giving it to them at 2, you're killing their brain cells.
Killing their brain cells.
Them to just be like that. They just want to be in front of the whole day, all day.
Right.
That ain't it. I know, like I said, our parents may not have the choice, the ones that's alone and doing it on their own. But still at least try to give them a book or something with colors in it. Just look at the pictures or something in it, but not the phone. Well,
Shavaria, is there anything you want to say to the community about the Zers? I would love to see you Zers do this all the time. Yeah, I didn't want to come out here and put my face on the camera, but I did anyway.
I appreciate it.
I just wanted Zers. I want to see Zers because we want to know, as the Xers from the Xers, we want to know how we can inject and how we can help the Xers. We already know there's a problem here in Louisiana with employment opportunities for a lot of Zers. We know there is maybe a lack of folks that got a GED or high school diploma. We know that. We know that there's some parenting and some more guidance needed. But the biggest problem we find as Xers, the Zers who need that, they won't come out to get it.
That's what I was just about to say.
They won't come out to get it. I was
gonna let you finish. A lot of people gotta go and seek the help, bro. A friend of mine was sitting on my couch like this, and he was like, bro, I think I'm really hurting myself. I'm killing myself slowly because he don't want to go and get no help from drinking. But I don't care what kind of help it is, man. If it's financially, physically, emotionally, because a lot of us dealing with stuff and we hurt ourselves silently and just be dealing with stuff silently because we told big boys don't cry, men don't hurt, get up and dust it off and stuff like that. And we got the highest rate of killing ourselves. So we got to go and seek help, whatever kind of help it is, man. I don't care what you dealing with. Go ask for help, bro. Don't sit around and be ignorant to what's going on, and then don't even get to live before you perish or anything. So man, we gotta be parents for one in the community. We gotta step up. We gotta be parents. And I don't care if you don't have any kids, if you have nieces and nephews, bro, that's still your role to be they dad figure, they pop, they father figure, they uncle, or whatever the case may be. Even if you got motion in the city, you hustling, you playing ball, man, you cutting hair, whatever you doing, if anybody look up to you, bro, you gotta be leading them the right way, not the wrong way. Even you rappers, for sure you rappers, bro.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't talking about nothing, bro. Cause y'all got the most influence, and y'all sitting out here instead of talking about nothing and finna incriminate y'all self. And it's just a lot of stuff that we gotta change, but it definitely gotta start with the men, cause the women gonna listen to a man that's gonna lead them the right way, and especially know what he talking about.
Right.
If she don't, she'll come around. But at the end of the day, bro, you gotta save who we can save, and then we gotta get the younger ones to get aboard, cause then we gonna be in her shoes like, dang, bro, all this time doing it. Who gonna save us? Who gonna save our kids when our kids out here 12, 13, and Lord forbid it be one of our kids, but it's gonna be one of our kids that something happened to. Like, dang, bro, we should have changed a lot of it. It's gonna be too late then, so we gotta do it now. It's a time for everything.
Also, I think that, it needs to be made cool. I'm not sure what y'all call it now.
Right.
Cool that when a young brother, of course, African American male, sees that his friend may have a mental health issue, sees that his friend may be delayed, whatever it may be.
They gotta make it cool to help somebody.
Help that, exactly.
It don't have to be cool that they having a problem. It be cool to help them. It's cool to help somebody, man. Even if you don't know them, help them out.
And I know black men preferably, not all men, but I know black men, okay? You guys are very proud. Like you said, you want no one to know that you have a mental health issue. You don't want anyone to know that you need money. You don't want anyone to know that you're struggling. You don't want anyone to know that you're in pain. That's how black men are. And I think that needs to become cool to talk about that.
Right.
I mean, it's getting really serious.
And it really, a lot of them don't like to do it because, especially with their ladies, or even with their partners nowadays, dudes being so weird that you like, man, what you think about this? And either they gonna steal your idea or they gonna go expose you or something like, dang, bro, I was trying to come and holler at you because I ain't had nobody else to. And then they'll go and put it out there like, dang, bro, you know what I'm saying? So it only like using the word vulnerable because I ain't gonna never be vulnerable, but it's like when you're back against the wall, you just need to talk to somebody, and then everybody you feel like gonna put your business out there. It's a thing of trust too.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
So,
I've seen that now.
Yeah, everybody be like, nah.
I've heard about the T app and all that stuff. And
see, I don't even get into all that.
I've heard about all kinds of things where people are exploiting other people.
Yeah, facts.
And we're exploiting each other.
There's so much self-hate.
And it's self-hate. And then we're the marginalized community with all the issues. And then we want to add exploitation on top of being marginalized. Oh my God, I think that we all probably want to slit our wrists if people continue to do that and we're not mentally, we don't have that mental help.
And that's I made a post about the other day, said, man, everybody ain't as strong as everybody, so y'all gotta watch what y'all putting out there. And man, 99% of us need some kind of help, so how could you sit there and be doing that and be letting somebody behind something nobody can even see your face? And that's why I tell people, man, you can't even take it serious because you can't even see, they are none of them saying whatever.
Right.
So bro, you can't, man, ain't no way I can just let them take that much energy from you. You can't even see it, but it's just so much out here that they gotta be willing to help somebody instead of hurting. Because we'll talk about somebody, don't know them, kick them while they down, don't know them, make sure their business don't grow, don't know them, just do everything but help them and don't know them.
Right.
It's backwards.
That's right. Well, I want to see Chevalier. This is the Plateau, you guys, with the Ark-La-Tex Gazette once again. Today we've just discussed the gap between the Generation X and the Generation Zers. Our most concern is we want our Generation Zers here. We want them healthy. We want them vibrant. We want them to achieve their goals. And Chevalier, I would like to see you come here again and do this with the Zers by yourself.
Gotcha. I got you.
And we can create and help create in our community a healthy, mentally healthy community.
Yes,
thank you, Chevalier. I'll see you soon.
Be blessed. I thank you for having me.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.